Jason with End the Simpademic, and it's Saturday night edition. Continuing on my Be Better series. Last night was for the men. Tonight is for the women. And I have a audio clip here from an Emily King short, and I will just let it play for itself, and I will carry on with what I was going to say.
I thought this was just a new thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID. And I thought that was a me experience. I was like, okay, maybe I give off like a standoffish vibe. I don't know. I don't think so. But no, they all agreed. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar. A man tried to offer to buy me a drink. Do men still do that? Men, can you weigh in? And I don't even need the drink, but like the last time, and I'll go up and talk to guys, but like, can someone explain?
Ladies keep asking this, but when are you going to realize that there are consequences to your words and actions? It's because men would rather keep to themselves than to be called a creep, or at the very least be publicly embarrassed, or at worst be accused of something. A lot of women do not realize that because of social media, a lot of young men believe that women despise them. Between the 4B movement, the it's all men until no men, and picking the bear over the man, because of this, most of them assume that women genuinely want nothing to do with them.
When was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you? And I thought this was just a new thing, but they were all like, no, it hasn't happened in...
Emily King nails it once again. And this one is very true. And the subject of this one is women asking where are all the good men. And if I had $1 for every time that a woman had posted a video asking that question, I would have a very nice lakefront home up here in, I'll just give the name of my city right now, Forest Lake, Minnesota. I mean, it would be one of those nice $500,000 houses on the lake shore. Forest is one of the larger lakes in this part of the state, and so be a significant amount of shoreline to go with it. And yeah, and that's basically where we're at here. These videos are so common on TikTok and YouTube that my previous video about manosphere content does not apply in this case, because you cannot possibly manipulate that many women to posting videos with that particular question. You know, I mean, if there really is 500,000 of them out there, it would not surprise me in the least if there is. But you know, where are all the good men? Well, I'm going to answer that question here real fast. As Emily said, there are consequences to your words and actions. And what has happened here is you have posted videos on TikTok and YouTube saying that you don't want men to approach you. Well, guess what? Men listened. And many of those good men that you're talking about out there are, the risk is just too high. And as I've mentioned before on my Twitter X page and this channel, I've been a victim of this myself. And I'm not even one of the younger men that Emily mentions in her video. But again, I've approached a woman at a church before, thought it all out, made it as safe as I possibly could, and I still got reported to the staff for making her feel quote-unquote uncomfortable. And the entire thing took maybe 3 minutes. And all I said was, you know, I'd like to meet you for brunch sometime, get to know you just a little bit better. And she just responded that she had a boyfriend, and that was the end of that conversation. I was like, okay, no big deal. And I find out later on that indeed I had been reported to the staff. I followed my first instinct and just left that church and went back to my old one. And this is why, these are reasons why those good men that they're crying about don't approach anymore. They certainly don't approach a bar, because law enforcement's much easier for the operation to get there because they're used to it. And part 2 of this is that their definition of a good man isn't what you think it is, or is not necessarily what they want you to think it is. Their definition of a good man is 6 foot tall, 6-pack abs, and a 6-digit salary. And anything lower than that is considered quote-unquote settling. So women, and again, I've seen many videos with this particular stat, but that by the year 2030, that's only 5 years from now, almost half of women in the United States will be single and childless. And it actually encompasses a pretty wide range group. According to the study, it's all women between the ages of 25 and 45. And this is why. It's because these women have to have they believe they're entitled to the absolute best or top 1% of men out there. And in the case of the 6-figure income, 6 foot tall, that is 0.48% of all men, or less than half of a percent. And 80% of the women are going for that tiny microscopic group. Which is 48 men out of every 1,000. So my be better advice for the women out there is this. Make your expectations and standards much more realistic to the population of men out there, even just demographically, looking at it as a numbers game. Because right now, what most of them are playing, it's just not going to happen. Because if 80% of the women are chasing the top 0.48% of men, two things are going to happen here. Obviously, you're going to have a lot of unhappy women asking where are all the good men. Well, because you don't think of actual good men as good men, you are making yourself unavailable to the substantial majority of the male population. 95.52% to be exact. And women need to stop feeling like they're entitled to the creme de la creme of men. Open your parameters a little bit more. I will say to every woman who is producing these videos that you likely have plenty of good men around you. You just refuse to see them because of your expectations and demands and honestly entitled princess attitude. And so this is where, and because of this and because of just the cultural dynamic out there, a lot of good men don't want to be found. You know, they see the way that you act. One of those videos is like, where are they hiding? I'm like, well, the answer is they're hiding in their homes. They're not going out. They're staying out of public. They're playing games, video games, and doing things on the internet, and in many cases, working their asses off. And that is honestly a much more productive use of time than trying to seek a self-entitled princess. And if this is not you and you're watching this video, just remember what I said last night. These things are not all encompassing, but the large number of these videos that are out there just makes it too difficult to not see it as at least wide encompassing. And a wide attitude across a majority of women, of single women in society these days. I think in my church scenario, the reason why I got rejected is because I wasn't 6 feet tall. I'm 5'10", and I am not in that top tier of attractive men. I just am not. I'm fully aware of this. I'm also 52 years old. And you know what? Self-awareness is a great thing. I know that I'm not Brad Pitt or anything close to him, or Harry Cavill or anybody like that. I'm not any of these people. I'm just me. A 5 on the scale, if we're being honest. And maybe if you include the things that I bring to my life, my tenacity, my survivability, which is, I'm in the top 1% in that category. In all of the things that I've survived in my life, I can provide that toughness to a woman who really could use you, who really needs it. But I'm going to let God sort that out. And I'm just going to let God sort out all that out. And I don't approach anymore for similar reasons as Emily mentioned in the video. Because I have been shamed, I've been publicly put down, and I have been accused and reported for harassment, even though nothing of the sort happened. I deliberately made it so that that would never be the case. However, because I didn't fit her narrow criteria, this is what happens. This is our modern day society. So anywho, have a great Saturday night. It's 0 degrees outside up here, and so if you're in the North Country with me, stay warm, and anywhere at all, stay safe. It's Saturday night. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything stupid. And stay safe. Peace out. I will be back tomorrow night. Have yourself a good weekend.